So y'all, it's Friday. Happy Friday, y'all. Take a moment just to say, let go of anything I planned on trying to say, and just let the moment be. Um, right now, I've been adding a lot of new people on my social media, um, and a lot of people don't know. I mean, the people that have been on my list that know me personally and that have seen me and they know a little bit, but there's a lot of people that have no clue. So my name's Nate Trips. I'm a spinal cord injury survivor. I was paralyzed on my 26th birthday from a drinking and driving accident. I was an addict and was on parole. I was out doing shit that would have, you know, and I was in an accident that changed my life. Um, My accident was like I said on my birthday, and it was like crazy because it was like within a couple hours. I can't. I'm not going to go as far as to say the hour of my birth, but I know the accident report was filed within the hour of my birth. So that's just kind of crazy. I was on parole. I was out call hopping, which would have been class two burglaries. I already had six class two burglaries, so I would have got enhanced, and I would have got handed something really nice for everyone that they could have proved I got in. But anyway, we're not talking about that story. Um, so at that time, I was an alcoholic, severe alcoholic. I was drinking a fifth of vodka every day. I mean, routinely, I had a fifth in the morning, or I meant a fifth in the morning, and then I had another fifth in the evening. I'd have a fifth in the morning, like as soon as I woke up, till halfway through the day, pass out, drink the other fifth till pass out. So I don't really know a lot of how the day went before because I was Nate mode. But I know the night of my wreck that I can remember most of everything that I did. Uh, and I've asked the person that was with me in the wreck. Luckily, she wasn't severely hurt, and I'm the one that got most of the repercussions, and unfortunately, my family. But at that time, I was out like burglarizing shit and just driving around a missile, man. So in that aspect, I was blessed that I didn't kill anybody else. I didn't have to wake up and live with that aspect, and it very easily could have been very much worse. I mean, and if I would have walked away unscathed and somebody else would have been put in my position, maybe at that time I would have just ignored it and it would have never impacted me whatsoever. I know that now, if I were to have come to this point in my life to where I had to look back and accept something of that magnitude, that it wouldn't sit well with me. So when I got in the wreck, like I said I was however drunk, and they couldn't airlift me because it was really foggy. So they they got me to the hospital, and I had broke. I was ejected out of the passenger or the side window, and it's really crazy on that aspect because I always wear a seatbelt. I was always drunk. I always wore a seatbelt. Anybody got in my car had a seatbelt on, or they didn't get my car. So the girl with me had a seatbelt on. She got sprained ankle for whatever reason that night. The cosmo said, "Don't put your seatbelt on." And if I would have put my seatbelt on, or if I wouldn't have ended up in the position that I'm in, I never would have got to the point that I'm at now. So long story short, this is all a blessing. I could make a whole video of saying of how this was all a blessing to me, and how the if that birthday hadn't have happened, that my life could have never got anywhere close to where I'm at now. Um, so when I went into the wreck, I broke my neck. I broke two vertebrae in my back. I broke both collarbones. I shattered a shoulder blade, broke a shoulder blade, three ribs, and shut a kidney down on impact. Um, and so nobody told them how much I drank. So I tested positive for a whole panel. And I went into severe DTs while I was in the coma and into anatomic dyslexia. That's where your heart rate, your blood pressure goes up, 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 and it has to be medically intervened to bring it down. They called the family, and because my heart rate went up over 230, or I don't know the number exactly. Um, so I got through that, and my first memory is when I woke up. I realized that I'm breathing. One, I wear glasses, and I had contacts in, so the contacts had uh, ripped on in half of my eye. They thought they took them out, but I had half a contact on my eye, and I can't see this far in front of my face. So I wake up and I'm in a hospital room ICU, and you can imagine the beeps and all that, and I realized I'm breathing, um, and then I realized I'm not breathing. Uh, it's just a steady rhythmic in and out, in and out. Um, all the drugs, and they tried to keep me in a medically induced coma is what it was. It was because my spine had to be stabilized until they could put my cage in to support. So so basically, I laid in the hospital bed, and all the bones that were broke, they didn't set anything. They couldn't do anything. I just laid in it slowly until it got to the point to where I had woke up enough. Like I said, I heard the breathing. I got to the breathing experience, and I can go on about the delusions that the mind was in at the state. I had a whole. It was all clear as hell how they were going to take me up to the top floor, throw me off the roof into the river for some experimental treatment. Yeah, so it got pretty extreme, and my stepdad works at a DOC, and so he'd have his dietary uniforms on, and I would come and I would beg him just to let me have his gun so I could protect myself. That's how scared I was. That's how real this shit was. Um, and my first memory of an actual knowing what was happening is my stepfather was standing at the bedside one day, and I can remember when I woke up. When I originally woke up, when I woke up with the breathing tubes and stuff, they actually had me, tied to the rails. So I mean, I'm blind. I'm not breathing. I can't scream. The air don't come out. So you're just and I can remember him being at the side of the bed, and I can just remember seeing him in a nonchalant, well, not necessarily nonchalant, attired. Just I could see the exhaustion and the and I didn't realize what I was seeing at the time, but it's like he's like, okay, Nathan, the doctors, you were in an accident, and the doctors say you're not going to ever walk again, and. And he said there's something else too. He said your apartment burnt down while he was in a coma. And my first realize was that I lost the two cats that I had. Um, and I remember that being the first thing that really kind of hit me. Uh, but his demeanor was because that he had told me several days in a row the same thing, and I had to hear it, and he had to tell it, and so that's the story of the wreck, um, and when I awoke again, um, that was the second time I was born, uh, but I'm gonna cut this one off. That was just kind of I don't know. This was my morning video. I'm trying to keep them at 10 minutes. If you watched, thank you. Much love. and hang with it, man. Stick with me too, please. Follow.